my filtering condition who is either a IT programmer or salesman. So that means where job underscore ID in, I can create an, or I can make it as an in clause. I can say IT underscore prog or a salesman, right? So I said salesman. Right, if I execute it, if at all I have the data, I'll get the data corresponding to it. If not, I'll not get any records as an output. The same query can also be written in this way: first underscore name, hire underscore date from employees, where job underscore ID is equal to IT program, or job underscore ID is equal to salesman. Both will give you the same set of results. Okay. All right, this is your first answer. Second one, display all those employees who joined after 1st of January. Yes, again I'll check my table now. Okay, so the second one, right, so what is second now? Select star, I did not give any columns here, where hire underscore date greater than, so what is the date format? 01, right, Jan 2008, right? Yeah, 2008. So this is the date format for me. If I execute it, I'll get all those employees who have joined after January 2008. Okay, so this is the second one. Third one, display details of employees with ID 150 or 160. Give two different approaches. It is similar to your first kind of question. Right, select star from employees, where department underscore ID in 150 comma 160. If at all you have the records pertaining to these particular columns, you'll get the result, else you'll not. The same thing can be retrieved in this way: employees where department underscore ID is equal to 150 or department underscore ID is equal to 160. So both are one and the same way what we have done for our first question. Yeah.
So we're gonna have to use on that one apostrophe.
Not required, because these are numericals, right?
Oh, yeah.
For a numericals it is not required. For a string values it is required. Okay.
If we give also no problem, right?
Not an issue. But ensure follow the navigation, like follow the rule that if at all it is a number, don't enclose in quotes. Right? That would make your life easy. Right? So yes. Any question? All right. Display employees where the first name or last name starts with yes. So select star from employees where first underscore name, like, right, it starts with yes, we don't know how it ends, or last underscore name, like, same thing. Should that not be should not employee ID instead of department ID? Oh, then I might have read the question. Oh, sorry, it should be employee ID. I'm sorry. Thanks. I read the question incorrectly. So this is what happens if you read the question incorrect. Employee ID. Right? Thank you. Thank you, Simona. Alright, so this is what our next set of question is. So it is all about displaying those employees whose first name or last name. See here, Stevens has got the first name starting with yes, and see, Sierra has got last name starting in yes. So you have, see here, Stephen and Styles both has got first name and last name both has got starting with yes. This is what the requirement is all about. Okay, now display employees whose first name contains A and I but not together. I said they should not be together, right? Select star from employees where first underscore name like, right, a percentage. I don't want to say where, a I percentage. Right. This is how you are supposed to write it. Okay. You do not know what is in between a and I. Okay. You do not want it to be seen. So this is how you would be writing the query. If at all you have any employee who has got a and I within his first name but not in together, then you have to specify in this way. Most of you have written the query in this way. AI percentage. So if you have any employee with AI in combination, then you would get it. But here, you're not asking it to validate with togetherness of AI. It has to be spread out individually.
Percentage A, percentage I, and percentage.
Sorry, percentage A?
Percentage I and percentage.
Yeah. Right. So why am I saying, okay, why am I saying percentage first? I do not know what comes before A. Right. I do not want them to be together. Right. This query, if you write it, what happens is, if you write the query in this way, what happens is you'll get the names like a name has got AI, let's say MAIN. I'll get the output because A and I is together. Right. I do not want A and I together. Right. I want something in between A and I. Okay, making sense. So that is the reason why I place another ampersand over there. Is that okay? Making sense?
Can you run it?
Huh? Sorry?
Can you run the?
Yeah, there is no e-name with that particular resultant. Okay. Why many conditions? Your first name like A, when you say AI percentage, I percentage, your even and first name not like AI. Okay. This will give your first name percentage AI first currency. Okay. The problem here is this one. You're ending with I. Right. Check your query. You're ending with I. Otherwise, this is good. Alright, you're ending with I, so that is not required. Sorry, because the question did not say that it is ending with I. It has to be somewhere in the query, somewhere in the first name, but not necessarily that it has to end with I. So you are missing this particular percentage. So if you give that, even that is correct. So specifically, or she is checking with this format, right? First name like A or first name like this one. Multiple conditions ensuring that A and I is not together. That is it. Good approach. Alright. So display the details of employees where commission percentage is null and salary in the range of 5,000 to 10,000 and department is 30. Select star from employees where, what is commission PCD, right? Commission PCD is null and salary between 5,000 and 10,000 and department underscore ID is equal to 30. You need to fulfill all the three conditions. You can either go in this way, like fulfill these two, then make an AND condition, because everywhere it would calculate the same thing. First, the order of precedence will go here, then it would go here. Or first it would check for the brackets. Like if you say that I have not listed out this commission percentage and I place the bracket here. Right. So first what it does, the query will directly get executed in this particular position. First it would fetch for salary between 5,000 and 10,000 and of that to belonging to department number 30. From this particular resultant, it is going to fetch only those records which are having the commission underscore PCT as well. So irrespective of the positions, you can work this particular query. Okay, if at all you have the matching data, then you will get the results. Alright, so display all those employees who do not report to a manager. Select star from employees. Right, employees where manager underscore ID is null. So this would give you things. Then display all those employees who are working as IT programmer along with 3/4 of the salary. So that means here my requirement is all about displaying the 3/4 of the salary also along with their job. So let's say I would say salary into 9. So why am I going with 9? Every quarter is 3 months. Okay, 3/4 is nothing but 9 months. Okay, select 9. You can say quarterly salary or 9 quarters. Sorry, thanks. I'm out of movement. Quarters anywhere, whatever the alias name that you want, where job underscore ID is equal to your IT program. Alright, so if you execute it, you would get that. Alright, so display all those employees whose name contains third character as L. Alright, select star from employees where ename like. So you do not know the first character, you do not know the second character, but you know the third character. You do not know the end part of it. So underscore will calculate, or underscore will be finding out single character. Alright, whereas percentage would pull out multiple characters. So employee name, what is the column name? First name, right? You would have that. If at all you have any first name which is having L in that third place, you would get it.
So we get the two space, right?
Choose not underscores, not spaces. They are underscores. Okay. Alright. So display all those employees whose name contains A for more than twice. Simple. Select star from employees where first underscore name like. I do not know what comes first. I know A. I need A. I need A. Simple. Right. Yep.
Did we get any result?
No.
Space here. Alright.
I don't have any records who has the first name. Or let me check my last name if I have. No, I don't. I don't have the data for it. Okay. See, irrespective of the data, check your query. If your query is correct, you would see this column headers as an output. You would see the metadata coming as your output. Alright, now what do we need? We need Wednesday and that too month of December. Select star from employees where to underscore care of hire underscore date. I'm going to extract day out of it. Okay, is equal to Wednesday and to underscore char of higher underscore date, and I'm going to month, or I'll say MON. Very simple to instead of going with. Okay. See, this is a person who was hired on Wednesday, and that in the month of January. Okay. All right. Then display the first name. Okay, let me copy this, otherwise I'll forget. All right, display first name. So I need to display the first name, first underscore name. I need to display the department underscore ID. I need to display the salary. And apart from that, I have to also calculate the increment salary. So I'm going with case when department underscore ID in 10, 20, 30, then salary plus salary into 0.2. 0.2, 20%. Right. When department underscore ID in 40, 60, 70, then salary plus salary into 0.15, 15%.
Missing 50.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Right. Else?
Salary plus salary.
Yes, salary plus salary into 0.1 and incremented salary from employees. This is how your incremented salary is going to get calculated. Okay. Now the important thing that needs to be notified, like see here, I don't have the direct value that can be passed to the department ID. I have to make a search on 3 different values. So that is why at every place I'm just comparing, or I'm just giving the column name. If at all I have a direct value, like what do I mean by direct and these values? For example, if I have a requirement like if at all I find a department number 10, then give this. The same query, I can even modify this, what do you say, the query, the case statement in this way. Case department underscore ID, when 10, then your salary plus, yes, you have to go with all the departments, right? When 20, then the same thing, right? Making sense? When 30, then when 40, then alright, when 50, then when 60, then when 70, then else 0.1 end. Alright, so let's see whether it gets executed or not.
Write down the from.
I'm just copying beside to it. Okay, so that we'll be having everything in one place. So incr underscore sal. Okay, I'm just executing that part. See, both the values are one and the same or not? This value, right? Do you see any difference between the both the generated values? Everything is same, right? All throughout, everything would be similar or same perfectly, right? So you can either follow in any of these two approaches, but the problem would be like, yes, if the size if the size goes on increasing, let's say I have 100 departments and I have to make the uh, calculation implemented on 100 departments, almost all the 100 departments. If I follow this particular method, I have to list out all the departments, right? But if all the departments has got different percentage, then obviously I have to go with it. But if you have a combinations of departments which is having the similar rate that is given, then you can make use of your comparison like in clause. You can create a list, and when making a list, you can make the value calculated. All right, clear? All right, so last one, display the department. Display the department ID. So what we can do, select department underscore ID comma sum of salary, right? And you want the count of employees in each and every department from employees, like I'll say sum of salary as total salary. I'll just give aliasing name. Count of stars like emp count from employees. Now group by, on what basis I'm calculating this? I'm calculating on the basis of my department ID, right? And here I have to only calculate pertaining to department ID 50. So what I'll do, I'll say department underscore ID is equal to 50. Simple. Right, in department ID, the total salary paid to all the departments is 1,56,400, and there are 45 employees who are reporting in it. Or else, if I want to make this query generic, I'll just remove this particular filtering condition so that the same kind of output is generated for all the departments. You see, for 100 departments, the total salary paid is 51,608, and there are 6 employees. There is one such department ID which is null, right? The department ID is null, but a salary is paid of 7,000 and you have only one such employee. All right. Likewise, you have all the things listed out. Okay, clear? All right, so these are all the 13 questions. All right, I'll just save this. All right, fine. Now let's go ahead and see the different things. The second test that I have given. All right, now there is a necessity to understand these particular tables. Like the table structure is given, you have the data within this, but the multiple choice questions is all about concerning about majorly the purpose of giving this test is to check whether you are following the syntaxes properly or not. This will give you an understanding about the syntaxes of that particular query. Right, there were many options listed out between for each and every query. You have for few queries you have only 3 options that is listed out, but for few queries you have up to G or H. Right, you have multiple selections. So based on that, you can have your analysis done. So the first table is all about the courses, where you have the course ID, title, and the duration of that particular course. And the second one is all about your sessions. You have the session number, course ID for which the session is conducted, the session date, instructor, who is the person who is instructing, and cancel. Any sessions that are cancelled. Okay, these are the 2 things that you have. Okay, now let's take the first question. Now, can this query be executed and is it useful? The question. Try to understand the question. Can the query be executed? Now, check your query. Is there any syntax error within the query first?
Yeah, query cannot be executed.
That's 100% wrong. I'll tell you.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Is there any syntax error? That is what I'm asking you.
Syntax, there is no syntax error, but there is no record 7820.
So did I ask you to figure out the record of 7820? Did I clearly ask you that? I'm asking you, can the query be executed? Read out the question. Can the query be executed? Can it be executed? For instance, in the database. Okay. I do not have any record corresponding to Durga in the employees table, right? Select star from employees. I do not have any record with my name in this particular table. You have totally of 107 records, of which my name is not present. But when I write my query in this way, first underscore name is equal to, is the query correct? The query is correct. But I don't have the data. Irrespective of the data, whether my query is correct or not, I'm only concerned about my syntax of the query. Now the point to answer is, I'll be having a database which is having a 10 million records. So will you go and fetch each and every record to see your filtering conditions? Right? So yesterday also you were stressing the same point that the query is wrong. Today also you are stressing the same point. Try to think out of the box and go with the question. Okay, the question is saying, can the query be executed? As simple as that, right? So always assume whenever you see the particular query, check for syntactical errors. Are there any syntactical errors? So what do I mean by syntactical errors? If at all I see a query in this way, select C title CID from courses where CID is equal to 7820. Right, if I write the query in this way, right, if the query is in this way, select C title CID from courses where CID is equal to 7820. If I write the query in this way, is the query correct?
No,
Why?
because there is no comma.
Yeah, I have two different columns, but they are not separated with a comma. Alright, they are not separated. So this query is syntactically wrong. Right? But if I place a comma and I have a table called as courses, then definitely this query will get executed. I'm not bothered about the data. Alright. So what should be the answer for this? Query cannot be executed. Is this the right answer?
No.
Right? Right. Query can be executed but returns nonsense. Is it returning any nonsense results?
No, it's not
It will return if at all you have a value. If at all you don't have any value, it will not return any data. But it will not retrieve the nonsense data, right? Invalid data. When I say nonsense, I mean invalid data. Will I get invalid data out of it? No. So what is the answer? Query can be executed and it is making sense, right? According to the table and the column definition. I have passed the correct table, and also I have passed the correct columns, and I'm using the filtering condition in a proper manner. So I don't have any issues. So the answer would be B. Clear? Any questions over online for this? Okay, there was a question I didn't see. I'm so sorry that. Why did you go by group by when we just need department? Okay, I'm just going back. The reason why I went for the group by is, yes, in my select statement, I'm retrieving both the aggregated functions as well as a non-aggregated column. See, this is a non-aggregated column. If I don't use this one and I filter out this, then I'm okay in not using the group by. I'm just okay with executing the query in this way. But my question is all about displaying the department. So I need to also display the department underscore ID along with the query. So this is a non-aggregated column. So when you have a non-aggregated column along with the aggregated columns, definitely you have to make a group by condition on it. Otherwise it would fail. Okay. I'm sorry I didn't check your question.
How do you know? How could I identify which is aggregated and which is not.
Total salary. Whenever you have a function that is applied like count, average, minimum, maximum, all these are your aggregate functions that you are applying on a particular column.
Like, for example, you put someone's salary.
Yeah.
Count the total, but you didn't put the
On a particular column. Right? You see the column is represented as it is. You are not aggregating it. When I say aggregating, you are making everything into one particular box. I'm not making any aggregation over there, right? Department ID is represented as it is. As we see in the table, we are just bringing as it is. But the other columns, you are making some calculations over that particular columns. Okay?
So instead of that, like if you say count department ID, then it will be.
Yeah, count of department ID, it would be your aggregated one again.
That will be aggregated.
This would be aggregated, but count of department ID for this particular output would be, what would be the output for this particular query? When I say count of department underscore ID, what would be the output?
Display the department.
What would be the value that I see for that count of department ID?
1.
Correct.
1 or like
1.
1 department ID 50.
But I see value something different. 45. Why?
That's employee count. Count of employee.
Yes, because department ID is repeated for all those 45 employees. That is why. Okay. All right. The second question. I'm moving to the second question. Can this query be executed and is it useful? According to the table and columns definition. Select C title from sessions where S underscore CID is equal to 7820.
This is simple.
Are you sure? It's sessions table. So go to your sessions table. I'm pulling out course title from the session and S underscore CID. Yes, I have S underscore CID from the sessions table. But do I have a column called as C title within it? Do I have a column called C title within it? C title is the column that is present in your courses table. But I do not have that seen in this particular sessions table. So query will not be executed. So what is the error that you get if I execute such kind of queries? I'll get an error saying that C title is an invalid identifier or column does not exist, whatever it is. Okay, making sense? So query cannot be executed, gives a syntax error, or query can be executed and makes sense. Query can be executed but returns nonsense. So which among these three is correct? A is correct. Right? I do not have that particular column, so this will not retrieve the values for me. Can this query be executed?
No. Can we see the PL again?
Same query above and below. There is no change. A small change. If you can identify that particular change, and if you can recollect a particular topic that we have discussed in the initial classes, then you could answer this. What is a literal? What is a literal? See, this is similar to a query in this way. Select Durga Satish from employees where, what is the column? Employee underscore idea is equal to 150. Now if I execute this, query got executed and I got the result. What is the result I got? Durga Satish. So whatever the input that I have passed within the query, the same is the input that I seen as an output. So what is this particular thing called? These are called as your literals. We discussed the literals in our first class, right? So literal is nothing but a constant that is supplied as an input. The same thing would be supplied as output of your query. It's a constant. It will not be varying. So this query will get executed. right? And it would generate, it is making sense because you're just passing a constant and you'd see that particular constant as an output, right? Can this query be executed and is it useful? Select sDate distinct scid from sessions order by scid sDate. Did we cover distinct? We covered. What is distinct for? Unique value. What is the basic rule for distinct? I have listed out that particular basic rule as well. So if you recollect that, the very first step you could answer this particular query.
Yes.
On the, what is the basic rule? Distinct should be mentioned as soon as or right after your select. You cannot make distinct after a particular column. So the query would make sense if it is select distinct of scid comma sdate. But here after a comma, normal comma, you are trying to make a distinct. So this would throw an error, a syntactical error. Okay, making sense? So the problem here is, right, let's say I want to figure out the distinct department IDs that are present in the table along with the salaries. Okay, so distinct of department underscore ID comma salary from employees. This query will get executed. I don't have any problem with this particular query. But if I write the query in this way, select salary distinct of department underscore ID from employees, what happened? Error, syntactical error. It says missing expression. That means you have used a distinct, right? Not after the select statement. This has to be right after your select statement. I have given a note, I believe, when working with the distinct. Right, distinct should be right after your select statement. Only then the query gets executed. And that's the reason why this would throw an error, syntax error. Right? Gives a syntax error. Clear? All right. Can this query be executed? Simple. Again, I'll give you the example. Select, let's say, department ID. Department underscore ID from employees. Recollect the basics that I have discussed. As simple as that. Order by, right. I'm using the same column, right? Yes. Department underscore ID. Department underscore ID. Now, if I execute this part of the query, I'll see the error. Two things to remember when working with this particular query. Right. So, sorry. Yeah. Two things to remember when working with this particular query. When will be order by clause getting executed? Where should be the order by clause? At the end. Now here you see order by is before group by. Ordering of the data will never happen before the query execution. It always happens after at the end of your query execution. So always your order by clause should be at the end. Right? Okay, fine. Now this query will be executed. Now will this query be executed? Right? Clear? So what is the answer for this? The answer would be again syntax error. Right? Now can this query be executed as it is?
We don't have to put like equals.
Alright, so in order to handle the null values, what is the operator that we should be going with?
Is not.
Is not null. Right, here I said not equal to null, so the query should not get executed at all. It should throw you an error. Simple. Select star from employees, where department underscore ID, what was that? Not equal to null. See, error. Right. Which question corresponds best to the following query? So what will be the query output? In such cases, you have to understand the query output. What is the query and what am I going to get from this particular query? What am I going to get from this particular query?
Courses. So courses, SQL courses which are not in the
Course ID of 7800 and 7820. I need the SQL courses which are not as part of your course ID that belongs to 7800 and 7820. So which is the one? Give the first row from the course table, gives all rows from the first. Is it giving only first row now? I did not specify any first or last row, so that is omitted. With the first sentence itself, we can omit the options. I'm not going to get only the first row, so that is gone. Give all rows from the course table for which the column equals SQL and for which the value in column ID is neither 7800 nor 7820. Is this correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So then give the first row, again I omitted. Then again D option, give all rows from the course tables for which contains the character sequence SQL and for which the value in the column ID is neither 7800 and 7820. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's SQL is a character again. You are saying the character sequence. That means you need everything in together. Alright. So again give the first row. E is omitted. F. Read that. So course title SQL, that is perfect. Now see the value does not lie between. Did I use between in that?
No.
Am I going to fetch a value of 7801? No, I'm not interested in that particular value. I'm only interested on two values, 7800 and 7820. So when I say between will create a range for you, right? 7800, 7801, 7802 and so on up to I get 7820. But I'm not interested with. So this is also not recommended, not a what do you say? Not a required way of question. Okay. Now give the first row. I omitted because I'm not pulling out the first row. I specified as asterisk. Now give all rows from the course table for which the column contains the character sequence SQL and for which the value in the column ID does not lie between. Yeah, again the same thing. Right? Between is not the recommended thing for me. Okay? Clear? So which question corresponds best to the following query? I'm pulling out the course ID, course duration -1 and is equal to price. What is that is equal to price? What is that is equal to price? It's a constant for me. Right, again it's a literal because I enclosed in single quotes within a query. It's a literal for me. Make sense? Right, from courses order by 2. So what is this? Select 3 columns from the course table of which the third one has a constant value. Leave the empty line after every second line. Is that correct? Correct? Seriously? Okay, read all the options. Then we'll frame the same kind of query over there and you'll understand it. So select 2 columns from the course table. Wrong, because I have given a third one as a literal. So I'll not get two columns from that particular table. The second table contains, second one contains the title. Yeah, that's wrong. It's not the title for me. Okay, so select three columns. So now the option would be between A and C. I'm going to get three records as an output. So this will be in this way, something like this. Select employee underscore ID. This is my one of my ID. Let's say department underscore ID -1, comma, alright, is equal to, let's say, title from employees. If I execute it, how many rows I'm gonna get? I'm gonna get 3 rows, right? Because you see each and every column is separated by a comma, right? And the last one is my, what is that?
Table.
Last column is my constant. It's a literal that I have passed within the query. This is the literal. Is equal to title is my literal value, right? It's a constant value that I have passed here. Okay. Now order by 2. So what happened? What happened? What do I mean by order by 2 now? What do I mean by order by 2? Okay. Now we'll see this. Order by 1. See the output, understand the things. Is see the one. Order by 2.
So
if I say order by 1, it would order based on the first column. You see this. Now the employee ID is as 200, right? If I specify 1, I should have told you this. This is the out of box one. Order by 1. So what happened? Employee ID is arranged in ascending order. Why ascending order? Because the default order type is ascending. Right? Had I changed it to 2, now you see department underscore ID -1 is the column which is getting ordered in the form of ascending order. Okay. Now what is the output that you are going to get here? Select 3 columns from course table, of which the third one has a constant value, price. Sort the data according to the second column in ascending order, right? I said order by 2. So I'm going to sort this entire data based on the second column, and that too in the ascending order. Understandable, this query, right? So there is some notes for us. Yes. Order by is clause which will allow you to display the results of your query in a sorted order, either ascending or descending. In the above query, order by 2 will sort the second column, and by default it is ascending order. If you put descending, yes, perfect, Benny. Simple. Alright, so what's our next question? So is it simple or complex? The questions. Yes. What is this? Is the query correct?
yes.
Is the query correct?
Yes.
How many options do I have? E options. Okay. So what will be the value for me for this? What would be the value for me? So in order to figure out this, let's see the data of that particular table. Then you can say which will be the correct. Now before I go with it, can you omit the invalid outputs from this particular selection list? I need you to omit the invalid outputs.
The B.
Sorry?
B is invalid.
B is invalid. Why?
Because when you say X,
Yes.
it won't give you like this.
Here the output is showing in the form of a list 10, 12, 13. When I say max, I will not get the output in this manner, so B is directly omitted. Same is the case with D, even that is omitted. Now, next case,
D. D also.
Which one?
D.
Yeah, D is omitted and B is omitted. B, D are omitted. Next, which can be omitted? So this is omitted for me. Okay. Let me mark it. Okay. This B is omitted for me. Alright, and D is omitted for me. Parallelly, looking at this particular data, you can give the answer directly.
So
This is gone.
I think
E will not be the right answer, right? Because there are multiple course IDs. Okay, and here the output is showing only one course ID. So this will not be the correct answer. So even this will go. D is already gone. But if we have all these particular selection list or these particular list in our table, then this would be the correct answer. Let's see that.
order by 2 means descending.
Order by 2, it's not descending, it's in ascending. That means when you say order by 2, what is the second column that you have here? Maximum of serial number is your second column from this particular table. So just go and see your sessions table. What happened to this? Alright, see, I have these many course IDs. So definitely I'm not going to get a single record out of it. See how many records I have? 7890, that's a unique. How many 7890s I have? I have 3 7890s. So what would I get? From this 3 7890s, I would get the maximum serial number out of it. So what is the maximum serial number out of it? 13 is the maximum. Likewise 7910, I have only 2 records, 11 and 15. So I'd get 15. So 13 and 15. Alright. Then I have only 8000, but it would be 14, right? And I have 8500 and 9000. So the output would be 7890, 8000, 7910, 8500 and 9000. See, 7890, 8000, 7910, 8500 and 9000. Why 8000 has entered in between? Because my output is corresponding to the arrangement of the data based on the second column, order by 2, right? So the maximum session for 8000 is 14. 14 is ahead of 15. That's the reason why you see the data in that way. Okay. All right, this one. Come on. Will the query get executed?
No.
No? I did not look at the data. Let me look at the data. But is the query correct or wrong? Okay. Remove the invalid options out of it. Remove the invalid options out of it. Come on.
C is invalid.
C is invalid. Why?
Because the result doesn't come like 7 or 10.
Right. I'll write the query same way. Oh, ikkadiki vachindi idi. Sorry. I'll write the same query. Just check it out. Select. What are the things? Okay. Let's say employee ID. Hire underscore date from employees where extract what I'm going to extract from hire underscore date is equal to, let's see, first the employees. Based on that, the reason why I'm checking is to check the different filtering conditions that I have. Yes. I'll go with 8 and 7, okay? 2007 and extract year from hire underscore date is equal to 2008. Now if I execute this part of the query from, again wrong, from, okay, I'm not getting any results. Why is it so? I'll not get any results, but I have the data. You see here, the reason why I have took 2007 and 2008.
Because your value you get 2007 and 2008 is not exactly the way it is in the bracket.
Oh, okay. I said year, right? When I say year, it will be on all YYY format. Okay. I'll get the complete year format. Okay. Now I have 2007 data and also 2008 data. You can see the second and third records. Right. But I did not get it as an output. Or I'll write the equivalent query of it. Even then, you'll see the same thing happening. The equivalent query of this is I did not get any results.
Because like you have like where conditions.
There are not single where condition, but there are multiple conditions.
So multiple conditions.
This is not same hire date. I have different one. This is similar to this kind of query. Select star from employees where department underscore ID is equal to 20 and department underscore ID is equal to 30. Same kind I have already discussed this. Can you recollect now?
So
what was the problem? Why or? Because
it will give me either values.
why either? Why I have to go with either? Why not both the things? I told you one point.
Where
A single employee cannot work in two departments. Right? When I say and, I need both the conditions need to be satisfied. Right? An employee who is working in department number 20 and as well as department number 30. Only then I'll get this particular value as an output for this particular query. Query will be executing, but I'll not get the results. The same is the case. If you check the above query, what is happening over there? You are trying to figure out an employee who has joined in 2007 and also 2008. Can a same employee join twice? Right? That is the reason. Can the same course, right, be initiated twice here?
no.
What is this? Is the serial number. Serial number is always getting incremented. So it will not be always the same. Right? You will not have the same serial number for each and every year. If you see 4, you see 11th is a serial number. 5, 14th is a serial number. Yes, 2006, you have 16th. What is the data that we are figuring out? 2005, right? Okay, then I'll get both the conditions are not matching. Yeah, I'll not get both the conditions matching because I don't have any data that is corresponding to 4. Yeah, there is no data that is corresponding to 2004. right? Even I'll not get the data as an output. That is the first point. And second point, no serial number will be the same for both the years. So even that case, I'll not get the output. Okay, so what would be the answer? The answer would be this one, serial number and date. I'll not get any records as an output for this. Okay. Likewise, you have for give an equivalent for where SID between 7,000 and 3,000. So what would be the equivalent of it?
The answer would be
A and D.
between like 7,000 and up to 8,000. Yeah. Between
Greater than 7,000, less than 8,000. A is perfect.
and D.
Why B? B is wrong. Right. When I say between, I need both the values and also in between values. Right. C. Wrong. D.
D, right.
Why? Will I get the value as 7,000?
No.
I'll not get this value. What about this? E.
Wrong.
I'll get 8,000 or less than 8,000. Right. And not C less than 7,000. Is that correct?
Wrong.
Wrong. Then what about this?
Wrong.
What about this?
That's also wrong.
Then what is correct?
A is correct.
Hmm?
It's all like two answer and I don't.
Yeah, what is correct?
A is correct. And I don't find out the oldest one is G, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think G. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
G.
I'm not.
Yeah,
Because I'm not.
Okay, let's write it. Department underscore ID greater than, okay, let's say employee underscore ID, that is better. Greater than or equal to 100 and employee underscore ID less than or equal to 150. Right, so this will give me both 100 and 150 records. Right, I have 100 and also I have 150 and I got in between the values as well. Okay, I will follow the same approach. This one will not give the results. See, if I say less than 150, if I execute it, what is going to be missing out? I'll be missing out with 150, right? Now you see this one greater than 7,000 less than or equal to 150. So I'll be missing with 100. See, I have the 100, right? Yeah, I have 100 Steven. So I'll miss him. Right, I started with 101. So that is gone. Right, greater than 7,000 and less than 8,000. So greater than this and less than this. So I'll be missing both 100 and 150. So I missed 100. I'm missing 150. Now the next things. Course ID, I mean less than or equal to 8,000. Yeah, this is perfect for me. Less than or equal to 150. Now, and not SC and not employee ID less than 100. Now, will I get this query executed?
I think you made a mistake. Like, was employee ID?
No, thank you. Alright, so what is the output here? I have the 100 also. Okay, and I have the 150. So is that equivalent or not? Right? What happened?
No.
What happened? Confused. Less than ఏది ఏది రాసాను నేను? Yeah. Now this one is left. less than 150 and less than this and not. I got 100. Am I getting 150? No. Greater than or equal to 7,000. So I gave you the time to also analyze the things, but you did not, right? See, always you do not need the exact table to be given. Okay, you can also go with your own tables. See, 149 and 150 is missing. So this is greater than, and this is this. So what is the correct answers for us? So A is correct. Okay, and then which is correct? This one, not D. You said D, right? Okay. Which queries give an answer to following question? Give list of all courses which took or will take place at least twice. At least twice. At least twice. What do I mean by at least twice? What do I mean by at least twice? So that means for sure it should be 2 times, and it can be any number of times. Less than 2, but it can be any number of times. Okay, it should not be less than 2. So the courses. So I need to get a course ID along with I need to get the count. Okay, so what is count over there? Count is my aggregate function. All right. Now you see the first option. I'm making an aggregation filtering with a where clause. Can I do that? I cannot do. And the other mistake within that particular first query is, yes, I'm making an aggregate function, but I haven't used a group by. You see, S underscore CID is a non-aggregated call. You're not making any aggregation over that particular column. So that needs to be specified in the group by. You have to specify count of star greater than 2 at the having clause. Making sense? Clear? Select, the correct query would be select S underscore CID count of star from sessions. Yes, we need to have the courses to be continued. So it should not be in cancelled mode. So where S underscore S cancel is null, group by S underscore CID having count of star greater than 2. That would be the correct one. Where is that? Yes, it's your E option. Okay, E option is your correct one. All right. Any other option that is correct? Any other option that is correct? So my A is wrong, B is totally wrong. C, is C correct? Count of S underscore CID. What do I get with it? I'll get the same count. Count of star and count of S underscore CID will give you the same results for me. So even this is correct for me. C is correct. D is again wrong because I need the courses to be continued. I'm not filtering with the courses that is null. Right. Cancellation is null. So D is not correct for me, and that too I'm going with CID. It should be SCID. Right. You should be pulling out data from your table. Okay, so yes, where am I? Yeah, so D is wrong for me. E is correct. F wrong. G wrong. H wrong. Okay, is that correct? Sorry, is that okay? What of the query? Select max of SID as CID, as SCID. from sessions group by S instructor having count of date greater than 1. So what am I trying to retrieve from this particular query?
So maximum of SID from session.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. I have to look in the data. Okay. What we'll do, we'll figure out this two, these three, the next day. Okay. Right. I'm getting late. I have a call. Okay. So what we'll do is, or else you can even analyze it. You'll get the answer for this because we have to even look at the data now. Right. So yes. Okay. So if you get a chance, try to practice the queries again. Okay. And for sure, you'll be having the test again on next Monday. Okay. So by next Monday, not this Monday, the coming Monday, but the other Monday that is going to come. Okay. So, but for sure, this,
Paper test or like,
it would be everything. Why aren't you happy with the paper based? Sorry?
paper test.
Difficult. So you want your computer test? You want a computer test? Let me know because I'll prepare accordingly.
Yeah, computer test.
You want a computer test? Okay, fine. Computer test. But ensure that you fix your problem by talking to Arpan. What's the problem with that? Because I cannot always help you, because I'll be having other things to look at, right? So if at all it's a small thing, then I can, but if at all it's a bigger one, then yeah, thank you so much. Have a good weekend.
SQL join.
Next week, yeah, we'll complete the aggregate functions, we'll complete the set operators, and we'll complete the joins, all these things. So the other Monday, you'll be having the test for all the things from first to last.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I need two answers, right, for this. Okay, GT is greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay, GT, LT. Okay, right. Thanks, Benita, if you're online. Thank you. Right, but there is now one more answer corresponding to this. I hope you have understood with whatever I have told you now. Okay, cool then. Right, let's meet on the next day. Okay, fine. Thanks for joining.